Root Rider Smash remains one of the best attack strategies in Clash of Clans regardless of the game mode. So let's break down the army and how it works while also giving you a full example to help you 3-star any base with this one army. This army is broken up into 3 parts: the Royal Champion Charge, the Funneling, and the Root Rider Smash. On screen is a visual for each part with the troops and spells needed for each part of the attack, in addition to another option that you can run if you lack certain equipment. So first things first, we have the Royal Champion Charge. This is used to clear out part of a base to maintain control for your Root Riders. Establishing pathing is very important, so you'll often run the Spirit Fox if you have access to it, or the Unicorn if not. Depending on the pet that you're bringing, you often want to time your invisibility spells every 6 seconds with the Spirit Fox and every 4 seconds without it. As for equipment, her Electro Boots will be able to deal constant damage during the charge, while removing the risk of skeleton traps, so don't be afraid to overlap defenses with invisibility spells since they can still do damage to them. However, you often have the choice between the Rocket Spear and the Haste Vial, as both are very useful early on. Usually I recommend using the Haste Vial when there are limited defenses on the outside, but if there are defenses blocking your path inside the base, using the Rocket Spear isn't half bad. Just keep in mind the Spirit Fox might die if you choose to use it with the Rocket Spear. You also have the choice of not using an ability during the charge and solely relying on the Electro Boots to clear defenses, so often taking either the Hog Puppets or the Rocket Spear can be a better choice. If you're dealing with invisibility spell towers, however, you can often use the Ice Block spell as a way to prevent your Royal Champion from moving while being sure the defensive invisibility spell is gone, so you can continue your charge. Now, where should you charge in the first place? Well, you always want to focus on removing the Town Hall with the Smash portion, so using the Royal Champion to carve out an L shape in the base tends to be ideal. No matter if you're going through the left, right, or middle of the base, you want L-shaped pathing so your Root Riders can move through the Town Hall and into the back end. From there, you'll need to cut off the other side of the funnel for your Root Rider Smash, but you have 2 different heroes that you can use to do so: the Barbarian King and the Archer Queen. If you're using the Barbarian King, you often want to use the Snake Bracelet and the Spiky Ball, as it offers him a ton of HP along with a good amount of DPS and a slightly faster attack speed to boot. This overall lets the snakes distract for him while also letting him tank for them whenever possible while walking down the base, clearing trash buildings and defenses as he moves. However, since most players might not be able to use the Snake Bracelet and Spiky Ball, you can often use the Archer Queen as an alternative, where her best is often the action figure and magic mirror for the high DPS and survivability, but you also have the choice of running magic mirror healer puppets and even the giant arrow healer puppets. Any of these will be enough to funnel, with each combo having at least one option to keep your queen alive while she clears the other side of the base. Since she can reach over walls, you have a great way to clear trash buildings and defenses to enable your push to go in the right direction. With both funnels set by your Royal Champion Charge and either the Barbarian King or Archer Queen, it's time to send in your Root Riders, Healers, Valkyries, Heroes, and other support troops into the base. You additionally want to use the Troop Launcher here as your push moves in to support the healers and the army with additional balloons and tanks. As you work into the base, use a rage spell to push your main army into the core of the base, while you additionally have the cover of the Eternal Tome and Healing Tome to keep everything alive and healed. From the core, you'll often use another rage spell to help your troops and heroes do additional damage on the back end of the base, so you can clear any defenses while cleaning up leftover buildings with Super Barbarians. However, you have plenty of options during the charge to use other hero abilities and spells. One such option is the Archer Queen, who is only being used inside the base if the Barbarian King is funneling. Any combo of the action figure, healer puppets, and magic mirror will enable you to keep up the damage, but also adds more survivability for your entire push. You can also use the Minion Prince if your queen is funneling, as he can offer additional support for your Root Rider push and protect the healers with himself and the henchman puppets from seeking air mines, while offering a slow on defenses. As for spells, an Overgrowth spell can additionally help with funneling as you push into the core by preventing a group of defenses from dealing too much damage. damage. Often you want to use this earlier as its long duration can cause issues for your army. An Ice Block spell can also be used to stall your army against invisibility spell towers so you can avoid it messing up your pathing, but you can also use it to avoid the Town Hall Giga Bomb and Poison at lower Town Hall levels, making survivability through it much more successful. These options should guarantee 3-star success while keeping you adaptable against any base no matter your Town Hall level. Now that you understand how this army works, this army comp is what I recommend you use to 3-star nearly every base at each Town Hall level. However, you also have options in equipment if you do not have many epic equipment available to you. With that said, let's give you a visual example of how this all works so you never fail with this army. To kick things off, we're going to be using the Royal Champion Charge, but instead of running any other ability, we're running the Electro Boots with the Rocket Spear. Since there are a lot of defenses in front of our Royal Champion Charge area, we want to clear those out with the Rocket Spears so we're able to actually dive into some of those other defenses and create better pathing. This way, we're able to use our invisibility spells every 4 to 6 seconds in order to keep the Royal Champion alive along with the Spirit Fox and get a ton of additional value. Anytime she actually walks out of the aura, we're gonna need to use another invisibility spell, but also don't be afraid of turning certain defenses invisible so you're able to get value. Otherwise, you should be able to clear out a given section and then recalling them back. Overall, you do want to use a few Super Barbarians to expand the funneling, especially clearing out trash buildings, before you send in either your Barbarian King or the Archer Queen. Using a few Super Barbarians there to control their pathing is ideal, but in this case, we're using the Archer Queen, where she can run a double common setup with the Healer Puppets and Giant Arrow, but here we're running her Action Figure and Magic Mirror, which is also incredibly good if you have it upgraded. Otherwise, we have 2 funnels set. That way we can send in our Root Riders along with the Minion Prince, the Warden, the Royal Champion, and of course our Root Riders, Valkyries, the Healers, Balloons, and even the Troop Launcher that has the extra Balloons, Root Rider, and Super Giant for us to actually move in. This allows us to use a Rage spell as we get closer into the core, but we're able to use an Overgrowth spell over the Town Hall so we don't initially deal with it, so we can deal with all of the other defenses as well. Otherwise, we can use our Eternal Tome and Healing Tome, followed by using a Rage spell to power everything up as we slowly but surely go into the Town Hall compartment. And as the Town Hall wears off, we've got an Ice Block spell at the ready to protect everything from the Giga Bomb and Poison. This should allow us to have more than enough troops, more than enough Root Riders, Valkyries, and any other troops that we have to keep them all alive, especially the healers. As we move into the back end, we're having another Rage is always great. And overall, as long as you have some cleanup from any of the Troop Launcher troops or the Super Barbarians or Headhunters, you should be able to 3-star with no problems. Root Riders are just so darn strong that even without many epic equipment, you have the chance of 3-starring every time. However, if you're interested in attacking a Town Hall 17 as a Town Hall 15, I recommend checking out this version of Root Riders, while YouTube says this video is best for you.